Good evening, traders. So today in this video, I'm going to be going over how I effectively managed to have over 5 perfect trades and how we executed it. The market had news with regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict, and it's important to set your watch list based on what's happening around the news. So before we get into this video here, I want to pretty much go over how I managed to take those trades, how I managed to enter those trades, exit those trades, and as well go into the details on how I set up my watch list so that way you guys have the education and knowing the full market breakdown and the theory behind the way we work things around here. Okay, so first things first is that beginning of every week, we do our market preparation to ensure that we understand the ranges on all our stock watch list. So we have a range on SPX to be around 43.85 and 42.30. So we analyze both those premiums here. Now, the day of, we also have our model premium ranges that we also analyze based on my proprietary model. And we have our SPX watch list along with all our stocks that we're currently watching here at this time. Now, other stocks that we trade on a typical basis include Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, GS, and so forth. And these are very important to look at and analyze. We got a bunch of premiums because we want to see, which premiums are consecutively moving. It's the ones that are deep in the money or ones that are far out in the money. In our next videos that we talk about more education, we explain why that matters. But for now, we just want to go over our market breakdown. So for today, we had 5 perfect trades. We did 2 SPX trades, a trade on Snow, a trade on LMT, which is Lockheed Martin, and so forth. So every trade we nailed it, and we're holding runners and rolled trades that into tomorrow as well. Now, a couple of things here with regards to our execution. So just to give you guys proof and evidence of the success here, all of the trades that we provide, we always tend to give a early warning through voice and our text messages. So we give the intentions of where we want to enter the trade and so forth, right? So all these are timestamped for your review. We give the profit and all the fills and so forth, right? You can see here that our first trade that we took today was about Snow, okay? So Snow had to do with our weekly review that we were looking at. This stock had a strong push. So if we go on Snow here, so this is our weekly map that we tend to review. So because Snow had a very strong push up, above this 145, it was known that this stock would also manage to gap through going forward. So what we did here is we purchased the Snow 160s and the 170 calls, 165s. Those got sold for around 60%. And then we took the Snow 170 calls. And pretty much Snow, the reason why we purchased those is because we had anticipated that the range on this particular stock was around 145 to 180. Now, because the range was quite significant, this was something that was out of the ordinary, and the reason why we wanted to play this as well. We had the premiums here, so I had an early indicator that the premium had jumped on the 170 and the 165s, so we decided to get the 175s. Now, we had sold that pretty much because it was chopped, but we did manage to make around 60% profit. Now, the next play that we did was SPX, sorry, not SPX, Lockheed Martin, which was LMT. So LMT, we had a nice double on that as well too. Now, the news for this has to do with the Palestinian and war and the conflict that's going on. This was already up pre-market trading here. So if you look here, early on at around 10, we got in the trade at around 11. But this trade basically basically opened up at around 434, and we didn't purchase it here because you never want to chase the premium, but instead let the trade come to you. And the way that we did that for this following trade here, and this is going to be very important to watch, is that when you're looking at a premium here, you want to make sure that you look at the highs and the lows. So for example, we're looking at the 460 and 450 calls. So for this example, we obtained the 430 calls, and the 430 calls were basically very strong and well above. We have this indicator here to confirm that $6 is a good entry and $3 is also a good entry. We got in around $4 and sold these at 9 because that was confirmed to be a strong resistance here based on prehistorical numbers. So around 9 is where we sold it at, and 10 was the high of the day. We also decided to roll into the 450s the following day, which is also showing a lot of strength. So it's important to always have an exit strategy on your plays on where you want to get out, because if you do plan your exit properly, you have the opportunity to roll into another trade at the right opportunity. So Lockheed Martin, the reason why we got this stock was pretty much because of the conflict. We also used the WAP range to really identify the perfect entry for this as well, because we've seen this hit the lower WAP earlier on, and we looked at the premiums based on what we've seen over there. We even realized that this was an awesome opportunity to get into this at that specific price. And as early sellers got out, this gave us an opportunity to buy the premiums at a reasonable price, and we got in and made the difference. And you could see here that the price had never came down back to its lower WAP. And that was a perfect execution from that on. Now, the next play that we got here has to do with the SPX 4340 calls. Now, the reason why we got that here is because let's clean up our indicators that we have here so it's easier to see. But pretty much these blue lines represent our gamma levels, and the green lines here represent our levels. So the first level, level 1 bullish, was at 4,300, and the next level is at 4,326. Above 4,326, that's where the market confirmed its trend. So we managed to get the 4,340 calls, and we sold it for another 60% profit and made a nice return off that. So LMT, we got around 11 and 110%, and those SPXs that we got in around we got it at 3.8 and sold it at 6. We knew that the SPX 4360 call had a very hard point at around $6. So if you look on our option premium chart here, you can see that this 4340 call had a very hard point at 6.3, and we decided to sell that near the high of the day, which was over there, because we got out at 6. So that was a perfect entry and exit, both on the 4340 calls along with LMT and so forth. These LMTs we rolled into, and we definitely made profit off that as well. So in the chat room, we explained the entire process on how these trades work and the reason why we took them as well. So if you guys are interested to learning more and want to obtain your trial, please let us know. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one.